She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episode 3, titled The People vs. Emil Blonsky. And this episode, I found to be pretty good. I didn't find it was as great as last week's episode, but I thought it was still a solid episode. I had more laughs in this episode than the previous 2 episodes, where I was laughing, I was having chuckles, even if you have a entire scene where you have, because it is the actual case, it's the actual courtroom of Jennifer being the Abomination's lawyer, and when Abomination turns into Abomination, and he's trying to explain that he can control himself, he's, he is in no way in harm with anyone, he's trying to be peaceful and show he can be capable, but the moment he gets turned to Abomination, everyone goes, ah! It's like, no, look, I control, ah! 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 You got Jennifer just going, get the fucking ass down! You go back to your normal self right now! Like a mother telling their child off. You got that humor side of things. You got scenes where, and they released this clip online, Marvel released it, where you have Wong is in this episode, and Emily is trying to find who Wong is, and find out who he is, and what he's about, and how we can find it, how they can find him, and interview him, and contact him. And she's like, he's a librarian, so I posted a picture with first travel of me holding a bunch of books, and I'm like, I love that. And also, yes, I laughed so fucking hard the moment they took the piss of those little whiny small dick, I got one testicle and I got bigger behind his head, but like these people have, and that is those people who are like, the moment there's like a sample of female-led superhero something, a TV show, a movie, they bitch and moan and say, there's an agenda, they're shoving things down their throat, it's woke. And they took the piss out of those people. The moment they did the social media thing, and you see like, oh, I support She-Hulk, and you're like, fuck off. Like, you just can't help but laugh at these people who are going to completely say the words like, I don't have a problem with female superheroes, but at least be something else. Like, at least be original. Like, it's being a superhero is only a guy thing. And it's like, fuck. It's like, you just can't help but laugh because it's literally the world we live in. And what's the old Marvel saying? That the Marvel universe is just a look outside your window. What's the old slogan that it was for Marvel.com? Marvel your universe. That's literally what the fuck it is. They're reflecting it, and it's because they see online. Because I know it's bullshit. And of course, yes, I had an extra laugh when the media is like, hey, this is the Abomination's lawyer, who's She-Hulk. And all they want to hear is her talking about her diet or how She-Hulk came about. Like, the name. And it's just like, this is so reflecting on the world. Normally I don't watch, like, a Geeks of Gamers or No Warwick or the Phantom Menace. And I will say this, me who doesn't watch these channels, oh fucking hell, I'm watching these channels this week. Just so I can see their faces or what their response will be of like just Marvel getting the mirror and saying what they are. This show isn't anti-man. This show isn't anti-man. It's anti-asshole. And that's what they've been kind of showing. That these people who bitch and complain the moment there's a show that has a female lead or has people of color, aka Lord of the Rings, that's coming out in a few hours at this point in time, are nothing but assholes. And I just fucking love it. I love how, like, I just, enjoyed it for bits. And you had this other story going on. Like, the Blonsky thing was nice. It was neat. I enjoyed it quite much. And Wong in this episode, the WCU, the Wong Cinematic Universe continues. He has a very small role. He shows up for a couple of scenes. He shows up about maybe 3 minutes in this episode, maybe 5 tops. And Benedict Wong plays the role pretty well. And I was like, hey, it's Wong and all that. It's not that big of a thing. It's not what we've been hearing about when it comes to certain other lawyers showing up at the show. Daredevil. Wong has a purpose in this episode, and the purpose is him explaining why was he in the events of Shang-Chi. Why was he in a Fight Club fighting him? And he gives that reason. So it's essentially he's just a witness. So in a way, his role was meant to be small, and he was sending his purpose. But I like the amount of Wong we got in this episode, so thumbs up for me. But this is other story that I quite like, and that is dealing with Pip. Pip, who's played by Prometheus from Arrow, right? So he has Danny, the asshole lawyer that Jennifer knows. The guy who's in last week's episode was all about, oh, there's a hot woman there. I'm going to torture it. Like a woman's not a person. It's just a thing. It's the object. There's a piece of me in his mind. And Pip has to represent himself, has to be his lawyer because he got duped by a shapeshifter Asgardian, which has a couple other jokes in there which I will not spoil. But I'm like, it's just simple. I just love seeing assholes getting their dues. Who doesn't like that? We're like, you're a dick, you're a wanker, you're this, you're that, and oh my god, the more baloney, the more stuff that came in his mouth, I'm like, God, please just drop the case, Judge. Just drop the case. Just don't. No, we're still taking with the case. Why? This guy's a prick. He just shows that, And in my head, I'm thinking the only reason that he's suing this Asgardian elf shapeshifter is that simply, in a very shallow way, the elf is not hot. That I would not be shocked. This is a guy who would be like, if this elf was like long hair with big boobs and like beautiful, like supermodel form, he wouldn't have. It just had like Spock ears. He wouldn't have a problem with it. Let's be honest. He would not have a single fucking problem with it. And it's just like, this episode's good. This is a really good episode. I enjoyed it.